Hi guys.
Hi.
Good evening. It's 7 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? Where are our kids?
My Grammy's
They're
house.
at the Grammy's house. I was kind of wondering there for a second. Hey guys, everybody. Thanks everybody for coming and joining us tonight. It's been an interesting week. It hasn't been a horrible week, but God, I feel like it's been like a week that's just been beating the crap out of me.
It seems like it's been a long week, which is weird because the weather's been good and.
I think that's why, because the weather gets nice and then all of a sudden you're going 900 miles an hour, but a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and that's kind of how it's been going around here. We got some good energy going on in the chat already, which is really cool. I love it when you guys show up early and start getting to know each other, and that's kind of what this is all about, really. Our moderators are here hanging out with us. Bob Nash Guy is here from Nashville, Tennessee, and we've got Matt back with us as we do every week from Chicago, Illinois. Hi, Matt. Is it Illinois or Illinois?
Illinois.
Is it Illinois?
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard it done both. I've heard it said both ways, and I probably just totally do it wrong. But anyway, here we are hanging out with you guys once again. We've got some cool stuff coming up today, as we've actually had some nice things going on with the channel, getting some recognition from some different folks, and we've got a really cool belt buckle to give away that we're going to give away today. We actually got a bunch of them, and we're going to give them away somehow here in the near future, but we're going to give away one tonight. I think we have 6 to choose from, or 5 to choose from, and then what we're going to do is let our winner pick. I don't know how we're going to pick a winner yet. We'll figure that out as we go along, I guess. So, but if you're interested in a belt buckle, throw it up in the comments, and we'll get you a picture of those before too long. Calving is still going on, so of course we've got calves coming out of the ears, our ears. The ears. I can't even talk today. We're now up to 3 bottle calves.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
I'm pretty sure that all 3 of them. No, wait a minute.
No.
2 of them were twins. We're going to give you Andy's story today, Little Orphan Andy. If you received the herd report, you caught a little bit of what's going on with him. Also, I mentioned him in the project list video, and somebody commented and they were like, who's Andy? What's going on with I've never heard of this cow. And that's because we talked about it in the herd report, and then I talked about it in the project list.
Yeah, he just hasn't made it into, he hasn't had a full feature video about Orphan Andy. We thought Andy was an Annie
at the beginning, yeah.
For, an hour, just because no one had checked. Specifically checked. And so, yeah, the kids named him Orphan Annie, and then it was Orphan Andy. It became
Orphan Andy pretty darn quick. So that happens. We also have another calf that's in the barn now, another bottle calf that's a part of a set of twins.
And we know for sure is
I
twins.
saw those ones be born, so, well, I didn't see them, but it was kind of a goofy deal. I checked the cow. She had 1 calf. I tagged that calf, and then came back by later, and here she has another calf. So that one we ended up pulling, and we're going to keep that one back as a bottle calf as well, just because she's a younger cow, and she's not going to be able to take care of both of them either way.
And if you like us on Facebook or Instagram, you saw pictures from Facebook and Instagram about the twins.
Right. We totally matched today. We didn't even go for this the gray motif. Anyway. Also coming up today, what else do we have? We're going to talk a little bit about the Peacock. We're going to give you a Peacock update. We did the prototype for his latest leg, and then the same folks that did the 3D printing, they actually made an aluminum version for him that we're going to test out as well, and that's going to be coming up, but we'll give you a sneak preview of that too. So anyway, let's get right into the questions here while we get started. And of course, our moderators are here taking care of things for us. And of course, we already have interest in belt buckles, which is awesome. I got to figure out how we're going to do this, though. I have an hour to figure out how we're going to give away a belt buckle. How about this? We've got Bob and Matt here as moderators.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you guys some homework. I want you guys to keep track of these folks that want a belt buckle. If you want a belt buckle, just say, I want a belt buckle. You don't even have to tell me why. You can pin it to your hat for all I care. And these guys are going to keep track. And then when we wrap up for the night, I'm going to get together with Bob and Matt, and then we're going to pick out one winner randomly. And then we'll post it back in the comments when this comes back live on the replay. And then we'll get a hold of the winner that way. So come back and check out the replay to see if you won the belt buckle. How's that sound?
Perfect.
Does that work?
I hope it's okay with Bob and Matt.
Well, I guess I didn't clear it with them ahead of time. I'm getting text right now, so it's probably like, hey, you, I'm trying to eat my dinner and do this, and now you give me something else to do. Anyway, thanks you guys for doing that for us, and we'll try to kind of keep track of it as well, because I mean, there's obviously everybody wants a belt buckle.
Do you want to show them the pictures of the belt buckles?
We can show you the pictures of the. Everybody wants a belt buckle. They haven't even seen the darn things yet. There's a story behind these belt buckles.
All right,
let's show the belt buckles. These belt buckles are, if you've ever noticed the buckle that I wear, I've had this belt buckle since we came back here. I think you bought it like the first or second year we were back here for me.
Yeah, pretty quickly after we were back.
The only belts I had when I came back were all like dress belts for suits and ties and things like that. And so, Erin bought me this belt buckle, and then they're not homemade, but they're handcrafted belt buckles, and we got this one. It had a website engraved on the back. Well, I had recently gone to the website, and it no longer exists. I couldn't find the company. So what had happened was I'm trying to figure out how to get off the picture now, and I can't figure it out. So what had happened was the company had actually changed hands. So I managed to get a hold of this new company that basically is still kind of the same guys. I think they had just changed the name. But either way,
internet stalking.
I did a little internet stalking, and I found them. The reason I was trying to get a hold of them was not to give away buckles, because we wanted to make an Our Wyoming Life belt buckle. Yeah. And so I got a hold of them. We started talking about making these buckles. Doug, the new owner of the company, said, well, why don't I send you some buckles to give away? So that's how we ended up with these buckles. Actually, we have 5 buckles and 1 bolo tie.
Yes.
And they're all handcrafted. The company is called American Heritage Stainless Buckles. And I thought they were in Alaska, but I was totally wrong on that point, apparently, because this one says Mount Vernon, Ohio. I could have swore they were in Alaska. Well, anyway. I have their catalog here, and
they do custom belt buckles, which is really cool.
Yeah,
they do. They've got all kinds of great stuff.
A lot of this, you could see it in the picture, but they do a lot of this. Let's see if I can find one here that has a good example. Because I have them all here in front of me. It was just easier to show you guys a picture, but they do this inlay type deal on the buckles, which is really cool, and that's what I have on my buckle as well, but I'm not going to stand up to show you my crotch. Anyway, so moving right along, that's the story with the buckles. We're going to end up giving away one of those tonight. So. And then what?
The other belt buckle.
The other belt buckle.
The one that they made for us.
Okay, they are making Our Wyoming Life belt buckles, which we are going to have on our website once I get the new website up and going.
Which you worked on today.
I did work on the website today. Actually, I worked on it yesterday and today. We're going to sell beef jerky on the website. We're going to have our belt buckles on the website. And what else?
Frequently asked questions.
We're going to frequently ask questions on the website, which hopefully people will go and look at. But we'll see. So that's kind of the story behind that. So they're like 6 to 8 weeks, because they are all handcrafted and that kind of thing. So
do you want to show them our belt buckle?
They're a ways out. You are just on top of it today.
After.
So let's take a look. This is going to be the Our Wyoming Life belt buckle that they're making. It's a bigger buckle. I'm trying to think of how big it is. It's like a 3-inch buckle or something like that. And then as they, if interest picks up, we might be able to do different sizes, do some different things with it. But that's
not available yet.
Not available yet. Don't go
looking for it.
Don't go looking for it. But we will have them soon, hopefully. Yeah. I think actually Doug, last time I talked to him, he said he was working on them. So, another cool thing, I just figured this out today. I didn't know this. But this belt buckle, which was in the picture, the eagle head with the bullets on it actually spins. I didn't know that. I was playing with it today. So anyway, winter, we'll get to pick out their belt buckle. I feel like we have talked a lot about belt buckles here for a little bit.
That's exciting.
It is kind of cool. We've had some cool things happen. Another thing that we have coming up is Fleer, the company that you saw that we use for the thermal imager when we're calving and that kind of thing. They are actually going to be giving away some stuff with us as well. So that'll be cool.
Shh, that's a secret still.
Well, it's not anymore.
It's not a secret,
now it's out there. If you're interested in our Wyoming Life t-shirts, you can always check those out. They do have them on Amazon. Amazon sells our Wyoming Life t-shirts. We make like $1 a piece off of them. But you can get them on Amazon. Just go to Amazon.com, search our Wyoming Life, and you can find them there, and they're on Prime, so you get free shipping.
Yeah.
So.
And on our website.
And on our website, you can go to ourwyominglife.com, and then there's a little shopping thing there too. The problem with merchandise that I'm finding is like either we have to buy a bunch and then keep it here, and then take orders and send it out, which then of course costs us a massive amount of overhead to keep that stuff, or we have to find a company that does it, and then we make like 10 cents on the dollar kind of thing. Yeah. But there's, as we move along, we'll figure this stuff out. So, make sense?
Yes.
Okay, maybe we should take some questions. If you have any questions, throw them out there. I'm going to scroll back through here just a little bit because it's going to be all about belt buckles here.
If we don't answer your question, you can always super chat, and then it pops up really big on our screen, and we won't ignore the super chat. So, and if we don't get to your question, we really, really apologize. There's a ton of questions that come in, and we would love to answer everyone, but we just can't.
Yeah, so. It's kind of tough. I'm actually not seeing any questions. I see everything about belt buckles.
Go back the other way.
Go back the other way? I feel bad. Now I'm sitting here scrolling while you guys are waiting for me to say something interesting. Erin and I were just talking about the fact that, as summer hits, we have less and less people coming to the live streams. That's not a bad thing, though. I mean, people get out, they get busy and that kind of thing. That makes sense. So, some questions. I don't know how to pronounce this breed of cow. I should look it up. The Wagyu?
Oh, the Wagyu, the fancy Japanese beef?
I think so.
That's like Kobe beef, right? Is it Kobe beef and
I don't
Wagyu
know.
beef?
It's a question from, now I lost it again. It's gone. From Joe, asking us. And I honestly really haven't looked into it. Gilbert, usually he ran Herefords here. He ran Angus here. I mean, it's just kind of like what we do. And also, bringing in new blood into the herd could be really expensive.
Well, that's like a whole different finishing game when you get into that super high end, really, really super marble. Have you ever seen a picture of what it looks like?
I probably have.
Oh, it's like I don't know.
Is this the? I was thinking about is it the one that they feed beer to?
That's the Kobe, I think. But Wagyu, okay. Could be totally wrong. I think the Wagyu is along the same lines. Like super marbled, so much fat. Tastes a lot different than anything else.
I wouldn't mind being a beer-fed cow.
I know.
I mean, you're drunk all the time.
Right.
So you don't give a crap what's going on. Somebody's coming in and giving you massages and stuff like that. So, yeah. I don't know.
So, I don't think we'll move in that direction. Just because I don't know what we do with it.
A question here about from Michael Owen about hay, which is a good question because now it's starting to grow. How much hay per acre can you typically make? We usually get about a ton an acre on a good year. An average year, we get about a ton an acre. And that's it. And we don't get any second cutting. We get one cutting and we're done.
We might get a little tiny bit of regrowth for fall grazing if we don't get a ton of fall snow, but not enough to cut again. So
right. Here's a question for Erin. How is the high tunnel coming? Everybody wants to know. Erin's really mad at the high tunnel right now.
Yeah, so, obviously we lost the cover. We talked about that last live stream. I tried to keep stuff alive. The wind kept blowing. We weren't able to keep low covers on. In fact, after our last live stream, we went out in the dark, in the rain, sleet, and put row covers on. They blew off. We're not set up for that infrastructure to keep low covers on in 50-mile-an-hour winds. It's not just throw some plastic on. And so a lot of stuff died. I honestly haven't been out there for a week to check. I kind of just needed a break. The whole thing is just kind of heartbreaking. Probably everything's dead. We have had some rain and some snow, so it did get some moisture. And we tried for 4 or 5 days to keep stuff covered, and it just wasn't working. And the lettuce looked horrible, and I thought some of it would pull through, but it was kind of how long is it going to take for it to recover? And once you get lettuce leaves that start to die, in the center of the head, it's going to rot everything else around it. And so, I'm in the middle of transplanting tomatoes and peppers here in the house. And kind of once I get that project done, it's going to be move outside and work on outside gardens. In fact, you're going to do some dirt work on the new tunnel this week, tomorrow or Saturday, and we're going to start building a new high tunnel. We're going to get outside gardens cleared off, and I'm going to, we're going to go to planting. So next week's going to be all about outside gardening, at least as far as what I'm doing. So yeah, I mean, it's horribly disappointing and heartbreaking, but it is what it is, and we're gonna move forward and put more stuff on the ground. So
yeah,
that's all I can do. So
some people are mentioning about selling stuff at our local feed store. We're not as big around here as you would think. I don't know how well that would come off. I mean, we could very well, because we're really good friends with the feed store, and obviously they like us, but doing merchandise in the feed store might be a little bit.
We don't, like, we get recognized, but very rarely.
Erin gets recognized a lot more than I do.
It goes in phases. Like, I get recognized a lot, and then Mike gets recognized a lot. But it's not even every day. It's like once a week I get recognized. And mostly when I hang out with, like, when I'm doing, like, gardening things, like if I'm doing a Master Gardener event or something, like, and so people are there that have an interest in gardening, or Mike gets recognized, like, more public places. So, and we're okay with that. Like, I would love everybody in town to know who we are and watch us, but at the same time, like, I like to go to Walmart and just go to Walmart. Yeah. So, yeah, we're not super well. We haven't done any local press for a long time. Yeah. So
it's been almost a year.
It's been over a year probably since we really had any local press. So hey, we got a super chat.
Oh, good. From Clark Carroll. Is winter over there, and is it time for the black hat burning video? Actually, I don't burn this hat because it's too expensive. I do burn my summer hat because it's a straw hat, it's cheap, and it stinks by the end of the summer. It's horrible. Erin doesn't even let it in the house half the time. So yeah, that one ends up. This one, actually, what I'll do is when I switch to a summer hat, we will take this one in, I'll get it cleaned, and then it just goes into a closet. Somebody was asking me about the hat thing, and we were talking about this the other day about how cows recognize people. Mm-hmm. And one of the questions that somebody had for me was the fact that, you always wear blue jeans and a black shirt, or blue jeans and a black coat. And part of that is that the cows, that's what they start to recognize. So if anybody shows up out here in blue jeans and a black coat and a black hat, they don't care if it's, if it's Erin wearing it or if it's me wearing it.
I mean, like, we're practical people too. Like, you're not going to have 7 different Carhartt winter coats. Like, I mean, like, he's got one winter coat. Like, Let's just be realistic here. You've got nice coats, but you've got one work coat.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, the same thing happened if you go to a zoo and you look at the zookeepers. All the zookeepers are dressed exactly alike, and that is to the animals get used to seeing those colors. Same thing happens at Walmart. The blue thing.
Target.
So in Target, used to, it's basic psychology, and it works well with cows too. So anyway, long story short, no burn. We will burn this fall though, and hopefully, I think we might actually do something. I might blow it up. That might be fun.
All right, call Nick.
Yeah, Nick will come up and blow something up with it. So put a little Clamato in. I'm not drinking beer actually, Matt. This is whiskey and Sprite, I think.
You like Clamato though.
I do like Clamato. I told Matt the other day about Clamato and beer.
No.
He'd never heard of it, so it became a conversation.
That's a Canadian thing.
Clamato. No, it's a Mexican thing.
Clamato?
Yeah, apparently. Anyway, sorry, we go off on little tangents here and there. So, as I saw a question back there, and I can't remember who it was from, but how many, there it is, from Dawn. How many acres per animal unit up there? For a cow-calf pair, we're looking at about 35 acres is what University of Wyoming has set up for our area. And we try to follow that pretty close. It just makes sense, feeding, in the wintertime, obviously all the cows are right here within about 50 acres most of the time. And that's part of like the reseeding video we did and that kind of thing, is to keep
revitalize
that ground, because they do just beat the crap out of it. But now actually they're right now they're on about 400 acres where we're calving, and they're pretty well spread out and
doing their thing.
They're doing their thing. We're still feeding every day, and we're just letting them go out in the afternoon. They're out chasing grass, but they are closed off into that 400 acres so that we can let the rest of the ranch grow.
Yeah, so like our home pasture, like, in the videos and stuff, the grass is super short. They're out chasing all the green grass. It looks horrible as far as like pasture rotation and stuff. Like, the grass just isn't able to get any height. and yeah, it's not great, but like no matter where we put them, they're gonna chase grass. And they're in this area now and still being fed hay so that our summer pastures can grow and become, you know, get some height on them before we turn them down into summer pastures. So yeah, there's not much grass out there. They're still getting hay. Ideally, we would have them in less than 400 acres and have more rotation throughout that 400 acres. But fence is really expensive when you start running miles and miles, and water.
You have to have water. You know, if you're doing rotational grazing, obviously you have to have water in each location. Rotational grazing is where you set up smaller areas and move the cows through faster. Part of the problem we have doing that as well is that, like Erin said, we don't get much regrowth. So once the cows eat it, that area is done. When you're rotational grazing, you know, the hope is that you could come back around and be able to catch those areas
again. And this time of year, like, yes, the grass is very much so in its growth pattern and stuff. And like, if the summer pastures, if the grass grows really fast, weather looks good right now, there's moisture in the ground, you know, and we can get them turned out sooner to summer pasture, then yeah, we'll get some regrowth on the home pasture. Not much though. It's not going to get super tall.
No. So I mean, that's you know, we do rotational graze in our own way. We move the cows through different pastures, but they don't actually end up coming back and wrapping around usually, unless something really goofy happens. We get a bunch of rain or something like that late in the year. Then they could end up coming back. So if that makes sense. Anyway.
Hey, somebody asked, anthrax, he. How much do baby chicks eat per week? I have 25 coming and can't get a good answer.
Oh my gosh.
So we have 60 chicks and maybe 61 because they always throw in some extras, and 8 ducks. They eat a lot.
Yeah. We have basically...
We've had them for a week. And I mean, we have like a little trough, like the little feeding trough that you'll get in the chick supply section. I feed it 2 or 3 times a day, at least. And that's with 60. And the ducks eat a lot. And the water, oh my gosh, they go through so much water. So they're a pain right now. I mean, we're filling water. We need to put a bigger water in, but the ducks are messy and the ducks splash water. So if you give them more water, they just splash it all out. So we just have little tiny like chick waterers. I mean, they're what, like 2 pints maybe?
Yeah, they're pretty small.
And there's 2 of them, and we fill it 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
The ducks are bad about the water.
Yeah, the ducks are super bad. Chickens aren't as bad. And they're going to just continue to eat more and more as they grow.
Right.
So, I mean, we have not, you know, we buy feed in 50-pound sacks. We're not even halfway through it, but we're making a dent in it.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a 50-pound sack, and it's lasted us
a week.
A week already. So, I mean, yeah, if you get 50
we're not
pounds,
even halfway through it.
No. So 25 chickens, you should be, you know, get yourself a bag, and it'll probably last you at least a month, probably, maybe. I would guess. I don't know. That really doesn't help because now you didn't get a straight answer from us either. But, Tammy wants to know if any baby calves are going to make some face. If baby calves are going to be on the life. I've had this idea before about bringing a calf into the house. I get shot down every single time. I've also had the idea of bringing the Peacock into the house, and that doesn't fly either. Literally.
They pee and poop everywhere.
They do. You have to like follow them around with like a bucket.
Put a diaper on it.
Oh, there's an idea. We got diapers. I'll give you that. Yeah. Speaking of the Peacock, and the fact that sometimes I like to try to bring them into the house because I like to show how the progress of the Peacock is going, and I think we're going to do a video here before too long about the Peacock, really quick one probably. But this is the prosthetic leg that we made for him, kind of a prototype type deal, and it actually works really well. It's basically a peg leg. He's not wearing it right now, as you can tell. But this thing, you know, works pretty well for him. He's able to get up. He moves around. He walks just fine on it. He's been outside. He, you know, seems to work pretty well, and it stays on. That's kind of the big thing. So our guys that have been making us the 3D printed leg, they switched over to aluminum and created an aluminum leg. This one still needs a little bit of work. They sent me the basic form of it because we still have to cut a hole for his spur, which is right here in the back, and attach the straps and do some padding inside the aluminum. I haven't weighed these yet to see what the difference is. I think that's kind of what the point is, that we try to get it as light as possible using aluminum, but hopefully this will work.
The aluminum will be nice too because it won't get in the water I mean, it's water resistant,
Right.
waterproof. Whereas this wood would eventually, over time, we'd have issues with the wood. So
Right.
they're about the same weight wise.
Are they? You think? I haven't weighed them, so.
They're not bad.
So anyway, that's what's going on with the Peacock. We're gonna actually get him out tomorrow and let him wander around the yard some, and do his thing. So, yeah.
You can have some sunshine. I would say spring has sprung.
I feel like spring has sprung.
It like changed. Like we had snow on Monday,
We did have
and
snow
now
on
it's
day.
70 degrees.
It wasn't 70 today. Tomorrow was supposed to be God, like 75 or something like that. Today we had like 60, so I'm happy with that. I'll take that. So our baby chicks expensive. How much do you pay? I should probably know this. How much do you pay for chickens?
So the more chicks you order, the cheaper they get, but not by much, like 10 cents. Depends on the variety. Anywhere $2.50 to $5 a chick if you get the exotic breeds.
Mm-hmm.
So like Leghorns, like $2.50 ish plus shipping.
And you can get chicks at like Tractor Supply or wherever you go. Baumgars, feed stores, basically, and you can get them for pretty cheap. Erin orders hers because she likes to get the weird kind. I mean, if you go to the feed store,
I just like to pick what I get rather than just go in and which is fine if I wasn't doing like egg layers for production. You know, I would just go in and pick out 10 chicks of whatever look cute. But I like to pick certain varieties.
Yeah.
So.
And that's why we order ours mostly. I mean, you can, like I said, you can go in and buy Leghorns at the feed store, you know, and get them probably for 50 cents or $1 a piece.
Oh, they're probably pretty much the same price.
You think so?
Unless they're on clearance.
Jan was here, and I think he asked me if we had done anything about Andy yet, which we have not.
Oh, we talked about it?
Yeah, we have not. Well, we've talked about Little Orphan Andy, but we haven't really talked about him too much. So that is still coming up. I got a frog in my throat.
Chris Rankin wants to know if Bambi's had her calf.
Bambi has not had her calf. I thought maybe she did the other day. There's a few cows out there that kind of look like her, and I came up over the hill, and here was a cow with a calf. And I thought, oh, Bambi. And I was all excited. And then I got there, and I was like, I just got to tag a dumb calf. But
Kenzie is just, she's not waiting so much for Bambi. Elsa, though, which is Bambi's
Elsa was her
calf.
heifer. Yeah. Elsa was Kenzie's heifer. That was an ordeal because Kenzie every day wanted an, and she has had her calf. So Elsa is Bambi's calf that we kept back, gave to Kenzie. Kenzie's this year heifer. I cannot remember what she named her calf this year.
Princess Bliss.
No.
Oh, Elsa's calf?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
It has some goofy name. But anyway, we are actually done we're down to just one heifer left to calve.
Just one.
Which still makes me get up every single night and go check this single heifer. But
you should just put it in the yard.
The heifer?
Yeah.
The cow?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't want it in the yard.
I wouldn't mind the calves. I don't mind the calves in the yard.
We do bring calves in the yard. We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Their poop's not as big.
Hey,
we got another super chat. What's wrong with you? Thank you very much, Farming POV, for $20 for the super chat. Thanks for putting out such great videos and content highlighting the hard work and dedication it takes to be in the agriculture industry. Keep up the great work and happy trails. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Where is, I've actually heard of their channel, Farming POV. You can go check them out. They do have a YouTube channel, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, because now I'm going to look like an idiot if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that I've seen that before. So,
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, moving right along. Blake is here now. Blake from Guy in WY is now hanging out with us. He's
sorry about your truck.
Yeah, that truck. Erin was telling me. She said that truck's been towed a lot lately. If you want to see some great footage of towing a truck,
check out Guy in Wyoming on Instagram.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you very much, Farming POV, and more questions.
More questions. Now we're talking about, do you miss radio broadcasting? That one's from Jaden. No, not so much. You know, it's
no.
When we first came here to the ranch, and it was very iffy if we were going to stay here or not. There were times that I was getting offers, you know, to go to Dallas, work for ABC, do that kind of thing, and it was very tempting at that time. Now, not so much. There are little things that I miss occasionally. You know, it's cool to sit down with Tim McGraw and BS.
I like the free stuff. Like
you get a lot of free stuff.
Free tickets to Cheyenne Frontier Days, and once a month we got a box for like giveaways, but it was always like, hey, everybody come pick out the stuff that you want out of the box, and then we'll give away the rest. I mean, like that was kind of.
Or back in the day when we got CDs,
yeah,
we would get a box of CDs in the radio station, and they'd be the new Brad Paisley CD, and then everybody would come through my office and say, well, can I have one? Yeah, sure. So then we'd give away all these CDs, and then it's time to give them away on the air, and we've got like 4 left because every salesperson and every DJ took one. There's things like that are kind of cool.
There's always donuts.
Donuts and coffee, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do miss, like, I miss working with, like, local small businesses and helping them come up with advertising campaigns and promotions, and, like, I miss that side of it. There's a lot of drama.
There's a lot of drama, and the on-air side of it is very cutthroat. If you're on air and you're doing mornings or something like that, there's 10 people standing behind you waiting for you to screw up and take your place. So we saw a lot of that. There was a lot of backstabbing and that kind of stuff going on.
I don't want your job.
You don't want my job? No. Nobody wants my job.
Wait, another super chat. Are you okay?
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
Thank you, Jan. I'm not going to say your last name.
I think it's Jan.
Jan?
Maybe. I don't know if it's Jan or Jan. Jan.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you for the $1.99. Hand-tooled belts with buckles. Do you know anybody that makes belts?
I don't make belts. My dad did. My
did he?
My dad actually did some of that leather stuff. The leather crafting. You pound it with the stamps and all that kind of stuff. He made his own belt and his name across the back.
Oh yeah, Gilbert had one of those.
Yeah.
He had a beaded one too.
Oh really?
Maybe we'll look into that. That's a good idea. As we expand our merchandise empire.
Everything costs money. That's
all right. Any new recipe videos coming?
That's a good question.
I know we'll be doing some this summer. Like we've already talked about, like some ideas for summertime when I can go out and I have produce and I can pick, we can have fresh vegetables and we can have meat that's raised on the ranch. And I love in the summertime that I can make meals pretty much in its entirety from the ranch, except for like salt and pepper and milk. So I think we'll be doing some of that this summer. I would love to say yes, but like gardens we're gonna go from like 0 to 9 million miles an hour in the gardens, like on like Saturday. So it might be a while before we cook.
Right.
So we got lots to do.
Somebody Case Farmer wants to know if we have a Mackenzie story of the week. Has Mackenzie done anything to? She's weird. She's a goofy kid. She's 7 years old, but she goes to school obviously during the day, and then she comes home and she's like a teenager. She goes in her room and closes the door and watches YouTube or reads a book or whatever she's doing in there, and then you have to go knock on the door. Hey, it's time for dinner. Do you want to come out and maybe like say hi to your family for a little while? And then she'll come out and she'll do her thing, and then it's like.
She is very teenage-like.
She is. I don't get it. I don't remember being like that when I was 7. Maybe. Of course, I wasn't a 7-year-old little girl, and that might be the difference, too.
She didn't really do anything funny this week. She was actually... So, on Sunday, like, she watched her video and with the chickens and stuff. And this is very surprising for Mackenzie because she's very outgoing and very talkative and never, like, shy. And she was like, I'm embarrassed.
She was.
And I was like, oh, honey, you did so great. And everybody, like, I talked to her teacher today after school, and, like, her class watches the videos, and her friends watch the videos, and they all thought she did really amazing. And
that's the thing, like, they watch our videos in Kenzie's class and her school. That's when I pick up Kenzie from school, I have 400 7-year-olds running out. Hi, Mike. How are you, Mike? How are you doing today? And that's the weird thing.
I watch your videos.
Yeah, that's kind of a little. That's our celebrity stuff. We're celebrities among 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds. Kenzie was actually pretty embarrassed when she did watch the video. And the first time, we're talking about the chicken video that we put out last Sunday.
On Sunday. Like 4 days ago.
Featured Mackenzie. Yeah, it seems like a long time ago. Featured Mackenzie not prominently, but she was in it here and there. We filmed quite a bit with her, but she, some of it we couldn't use, some of it we could, and we worked her in there as we could. But yeah, she was overall embarrassed about it. And then I didn't tell you about this, but the downvote thing. Her first downvote hurt her feelings. And I had to explain.
They hurt my feelings too. No.
I had to explain it to her. I said, they're not downvoting you, they're downvoting me. It's nothing that you did. But she watches YouTube enough. She knows what thumbs up and thumbs down are.
Yeah.
And so she actually kind of felt bad about that. So whoever downvoted McKinsey, not good. But yeah, I mean, I can take it. Obviously, I get into fights with. I try not to get into fights with people, but there are people out there that don't like us, and that's fine. But she's a kid. She takes it differently.
Yeah.
And
we got another super chat.
Love the merch empire. Any way you say it is fine. Yeah.
Jan. Thank you.
Hey, you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, more questions.
I see something that's right up Erin's line. Would you guys ever consider starting a fundraiser to help the ranchers in Oklahoma from devastating fires? The fires are huge. We're in a situation right now where we are running out of hay. Yeah. And I had to call around today to start looking for more hay.
We need just like one more truckload just to get us through until that grass grows.
So, and I found out, and I learned by talking to my trucker, one of the truckers that I deal with, that there's hay that's going into Oklahoma and Colorado
too.
for $400 a ton.
That's insane.
That's
trucking,
ridiculous.
or is that delivered?
I'm pretty sure that better be with trucking. It might not be. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Here's the fact that that hay was made last year. They sold it last fall for $100 a ton or $120 a ton or whatever they sold it for.
Which is a lot of money too.
Which is still a lot of money. But then something bad happens and that price, this would not be a family show if I told you what I thought of that situation. I understand supply and demand. I get it. But the fact that bad things happen and prices go through the roof, or droughts happen, which can be sometimes just as bad as fires. I mean, there's
3 out of 5 years we've had to buy hay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. Like, I don't know that the ranch can survive another drought year.
Yeah.
That's going to be very financially hard for us. And it's, those Colorado's had some tough weather. There's no place in America that has perfect year. I mean, you always struggle with something in any type of agriculture. When it hits year after year after year, I mean, it's just devastating,
Yeah, I mean, and, we put up hay, so we know what it costs to put up hay.
Yeah.
And
not $200 or $400 a ton.
Right, and the truck driver that I talked to today, that they are actually taking a hit on trucking,
trying to help people out,
so that they can afford to get people hay.
Yeah.
They're not making as much on trucking as they normally would. So,
and that's, like as producers, as front end producers, and in farming or in when you're raising calves and stuff, like, we're the ones that seem to have to absorb all the cost. And if McDonald's runs out of hamburger, we don't get to sell our calves for more. Like, we get told what we're selling our calves for. We have no influence in it. We get told what we're going to pay for hay. We get told what we're going to get charged for trucking. I'm
going to get up on my soapbox. No.
No. It's hard. It's hard being the first end producer.
Yeah.
And not being... And you guys are paying, like, if calf prices go down in the fall and we don't get paid, your hamburger and steak price doesn't come down in the grocery store.
No, it's like gas prices.
So it's all the middleman, and it's a broken system. And I have no idea how to fix it. We talked about it a lot today just because when we were trying to find hay and look at the prices and stuff, and it's just a broken system. The only thing I can say about it is that when you buy products from your local farmer, right? Like when you buy beef from us or you buy vegetables from us, that's money that goes directly into our pocket that we can put back into the ranch, or we put back into raising our family, and we spend on other small businesses in our community, rather than it going to the middleman.
Right.
Make a huge impact.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like the price of gas. The oil can be down to 49 cents a barrel, and the price of gas is not going to change. I mean, it's
a little bit.
It does that fluctuation thing, but that's because then people can go, oh, the price of gas is down 3 cents, and it makes you feel good. The price of a McDonald's hamburger doesn't go down by 3 cents ever.
No.
So anyway, that's our soapbox for today.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry about that. How did that start?
Hay.
Dang hay.
Oklahoma fires.
Yeah, and we do get hay from down by Torrington, and all of their hay is actually going to Colorado now. That's where it started. The question about the fundraiser. That would be an interesting thing to take a look at and see how we could figure out
how to do that. We'll look into it.
If you're serious about it, send us an email and we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Because that's something that maybe we could take a look at and see how to do. All right, back into the questions. Actually, do we want to talk about Andy now? Because it's 7:40 already.
Oh my goodness.
Let's talk about Andy, little orphan Andy. We talked about him a little bit in the beginning, and little orphan Andy is not our newest bottle calf.
Yeah, so where did he come from?
So Andy was born out of a cow.
When was it? Like,
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
He's like a week old now.
Yeah.
No. It was Sunday. It was on Sunday.
Oh.
We put out the video. The Mackenzie's video came out on Sunday,
Okay.
and he was born that day. I went out to tag calves that morning, or check calves. Found him laying in the sagebrush. And if you were subscribed to the Herd Report, you've already heard this story, and I apologize, but this is the live version, I guess. I found him laying in some sagebrush. I went and tagged him.
He was fine.
He was fine, but he was by himself. There was no cow around him anywhere.
They'd kind of come and check, but then everybody...
Yeah, as he was, he kind of made some noise while I was there with him. A cow came up and checked him out. I thought maybe that was his mom, but it was not, because then she had a calf like an hour later, so I knew that wasn't his mom. But she did kind of hang out with him.
No.
Anyway, then I figured, well, we'll give him some time. Mom will come back. Maybe she's just off chasing grass. So I come back to the shop and tinker around, do whatever I do. Head back out a few hours later. He's gone. Now he's moved over to another group of cows, and he's obviously looking for his mom. So he's wandering around all these other cows. They're, he's trying to go up and suck. They're kicking him away. Get away. I don't know you. You're a weird cow. And so I let that go. I was like, well, there has to be a mom out here somewhere. And this happens every once in a while. So come back a few hours later, nothing. So now it's time to scoop him up.
And they can go quite a long time without...
Right, now the fact is that
it was nice out.
And it was nice, and when I found him at first, he was dry. He had been dried off. He had sucked on something.
You think?
I think he had milk. He wasn't...
He was alert. He could get up.
He could run around. He did his whole thing. So anyway, then it became the fact that it's time to pick him up and bring him in. So that's where we're going to pick up with this video that I'll show you now. If you subscribe to the Herd Report, which you can do on our website, you've seen some of this. We actually added some more at the end. So let's fire up. This is what we call Andy's story. So anyway, that's where I found him, laying in the sagebrush. Went out, picked him up, and this is always fun, taking calves for rides in the gator. I just get the biggest kick out of this because they don't know any different, obviously. But
well, usually they're like frozen and like half dead too. Like
yeah, usually they're not really alert. He was checking it out. He wanted to see what was going on. Came for a drive back to the house with me, and once we got to the house, he came out of the gator. We actually put him in our yard. Now, why we put him in the yard was the fact that I thought he might still have a mom out there. So our yard is connected to the pasture, and my hope was that if he bellowed or anything like that, she would come up to the fence. That would help that situation. Gave him a bottle, then let him play with Lincoln for a little bit. And Lexi, our dog, got out and played with him some too.
My kids were super excited to have a calf in the yard. They thought it was great.
Oh, every day they're like, when's he coming back to the yard? He needs to come play in the yard more.
She's scared Grace.
Yeah. He also, this is new footage, he follows me around like a puppy dog. He lives in the shop, or in the barn, but if he hears me coming, he follows me in. He helps me make bottles. He waits patiently for his bottle. I'm trying to teach him how to sit. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but I know how to sit, so I'm trying. That's my teaching by example. And then he'll follow me right back out to the barn. And that is Andy at this point. Now,
so we think he's part of a twin.
That's my thought, is that...
Because no mom ever did bellow, pace around looking for a calf.
There was nothing. Hey, where are we? There we are. There was actually none of that. And if he would have been a single calf, mom would have been looking for him. So here's the funny thing about this whole situation is he is a set of twins. Now, we had our twins from our early twins that you guys were here for. They're doing fine, actually. They're still living in the corrals.
With mom.
With 4 and 5. That's thing 1 and thing 2. We're pretty sure that Andy came from a set of twins.
Yeah.
But we don't know who. And then we had our other twin that was born just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
that's in the barn as well. So that's 3 sets of twins that we've had so far this year.
Never had 3 sets of twins.
No, we've never had 3 sets of twins.
And we usually have 1 set of twins every 2 or 3 years. 1 set. And we potentially have 3 sets.
I think we have 3 sets. Now, there is
we have 2 for sure.
There's an old wives' tale that when you have twins, that means wet weather is coming. Have you ever heard that?
That's what my mom says.
Yeah.
There's no rain in the forecast, though. So.
Yeah, I mean, we could, yeah. Maybe it'll be wet, maybe it won't. I mean, who knows?
So Jeanette just said his mom forgot about him. How sad. It is, but if they have 2 calves, if he really truly is a twin, you know, that first calf gets up, you know, the first one that gets up and sucks, that's her calf, you know, and she's going to take care of that calf. And they do forget about him. I mean, that is just the unfortunate thing that happens with twins. They're not, you know, sheep have twins or triplets. Goats have twins and triplets. Cows don't. You know, we've talked about this before, like triplets is super rare. Twins is not as rare, but still, like, you know, we go 2 or 3 years and don't have any twins. So they're just not meant to take care of more than one. The mom that still has her twins, thing 1 and thing 2 are early twins. The fact that she's able to take care of both is only because she has unlimited access to hay. She's not out walking. She's getting grain every day. She can't lose one of them. They're in a confined space.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only way that we've ever successfully raised twins, that mom has taken care of both of them. You know, when they're out in the pasture, it's just a crapshoot. They're just not meant to take care of 2. Like,
yeah, it's hard for them, and you know,
and that's why we didn't even give, like, the 3rd set of twins is out of one of our cows. And we just, I mean, you didn't even give them a chance. No. We just took one.
Yeah, so. It's not, having a bottle calf is a giant pain, but at the same time, losing a calf is worse. Yeah. So, you know, we do occasionally.
And once you have 1 bottle calf, like, oh, well, just.
Yeah, do I make 2 bottles or do I make 6 bottles?
Yeah, just keep feeding them. So, once you've got 1 bottle calf, you're feeding 2 or 3 times a day anyhow, and. Yeah, so you might as well feed 3 or 4. So
yeah, and somebody asked if it's your bull that causes twins. I actually think it's more the cow because they obviously release more than 1.
Didn't you look this up?
I probably did, but I don't remember. I'm not sure. I imagine it's probably on the cow side because they're releasing more than 1 egg, which is becoming fertilized.
Yeah.
So I don't think the guys have a. When it comes to reproduction, guys have very little to do with it. Like 5 seconds worth. Girls are they carry the baby, they make the baby, they make the food for the baby, they take care of the baby. The bulls are just like, I'm here, let's do this, yeah. And afterwards they go back to their whole gig. So.
Okay.
Right. Do you have another question in mind? Or you...
What if they are different sex twins? Joe Clarkson. So our newest set of twins is a heifer and a bull.
Right.
And so the heifer is called a Free Martin. She'll be sterile. Most likely will be sterile.
It's like 94-95% chance that she's going to be sterile.
So the heifer will not get kept.
If you have 2 calves in utero, they're actually sharing a blood supply. And the testosterone for the male flows into the female, which then actually stunts the growth of the reproductive organs.
Yeah.
Long story short.
Thing 1 and thing 2, they're both bulls.
Thing 1 and thing 2 are both bulls. And Andy, we don't know. So that could be an interesting situation too. But I don't think we're actually going to be keeping any heifers this year, unless we have one that's, you know, super, super, super friendly or something like that happens. But.
And we don't have any girl bottle babies. So, and we have another bottle baby that the calf was sick and had scours.
Some of these guys know about number 13. We talked about number 13 before. 13 is the cow that 84 is its mom. 84 is the one that brought her calf to our house, literally to our house, and said something is wrong with my calf. Since then, we brought number 13, lucky number 13, brought it in. It has really bad scours, was dehydrated, hypothermic. We ended up nursing it back to health. We put it back in with its mom, kept them in the corral, and about a week later, she took a nosedive and honestly tried to die on me 2 or 3 times.
And it's a bull too, right?
And that's a bull too, yeah. So we're having problems with boys this year.
Yeah.
It's like a guy problem here. So yeah, we ended up now number 13 actually doesn't even live in the barn, lives in the shop.
Yeah, he's better.
He's getting better.
So sick for like 3 days, just horribly, horribly sick.
He was like on the brink. Here's the bad
like
part
every
about
time
it.
I went out there, it was like, because they just, when they sprawl out and stuff, I mean, they just look like they're dead, but it was literally like, watch and see if he's breathing. Like he had no movement.
Yeah.
He lived in the calf warmer for like a good 3 days.
Here's the bad part about the whole situation. We didn't take any video of it because we
he
thought he was going to die. And now he's doing better. He's up and walking. He still won't take a bottle. We're tube feeding him every single time we feed him. He gets tubed because he doesn't have the strength to suck on a bottle yet. He can get up and walk around, but that doesn't last very long.
He can't get up unless you put him up.
He can't get up by himself. You have to pick him up. It's a sad situation, but it's one of those things like you can't give up on the calf, obviously. So you're just constantly working your way through that, and hopefully
he's doing better.
He's doing better, and hopefully he keeps doing better. So another super chat: did the cow that hung with Andy watch her calf? Yes, that was actually number 3. Yeah, she was fine. She hung with Andy, but by the time she had her calf, she had actually moved off. So
thank you for the super chat.
Thank you very much for the
super chat. And then we
chat.
got another super chat from Jeff Steak, 31.
Dylan keeps asking, oh, that's thanks. Now, this is it. This is cool. This is our community right here. Jeff spends a super chat to ask a question that somebody else is asking. That is super awesome. Oh man, that's just cool. Dylan keeps asking about the International Harvester by the RV. The 606, the International 606, is basically our garden tractor that we use it for a lot of stuff.
We use it to till.
It has a tiller on the back of it. That's pretty much what it gets used for most of the time.
Yeah.
It has 2 flat tires on it right now.
It needs tires.
It needs tires.
I don't know that we're going to get tires this year, though.
The bad thing is, literally, we put, what, 10 hours on it a year.
Maybe.
And it needs $700 per back tire, so it needs $1,400 plus that in the front tires. So say it needs $1,600 worth of tires.
It's not happening.
So what our
Unless
plan is?
Unless we get a lot of super chats.
Yes.
No pressure.
No pressure. We are thinking about maybe tubing the tires, but the tires are very old that are on it, so they might actually get ripped up. Who knows? But that's the story with the International. I actually like that little tractor. It's a fun tractor to drive.
Yeah, we need to get it fixed up. It's just it's really like a financial decision right now that it's just gonna wait.
Yeah, so pretty much. You have to make those.
That's how things work on a ranch or a farm. Is it's what is a priority. We have another tiller. It's just a walk behind tiller. It doesn't till as deep, but that's what we're gonna use.
Right.
And we have a lawnmower tiller.
We do. We have a tiller that goes back. Well, so on the lawn tractor, the 445, we have a tiller that goes on that. We have a walk behind tiller, so it's not like the end of the world. It's not like we don't have a tiller. And honestly, that tiller could come off of the International and go on to one of the John Deere's too.
Okay, well we'll do that.
So we could do that.
Okay, you got another super chat.
Jan says she might be Andy's mom. Actually, no, I thought about that, and she hadn't given birth by the time I saw Andy.
You can tell after they've given birth.
Yeah, there's going to be evidence that something has downloaded. Do you play? Well, wait a minute. That's not a question. Plus, that's a statement for Fiona. Good statement, Fiona.
All right. How much are the belt buckles? Not for sale yet. We will do a giveaway probably on Sunday's video. If we figure.
Well, I think he's asking about our buckles. We don't know yet. We don't know what they're going to cost us yet, and I honestly don't know. I know that these ones, I can tell you these ones that we're giving away, and I guess I can show the picture again because we probably have new folks in here that are.
Yeah, so comment if you want a belt buckle. If you've already commented, I see that the moderators are on top of it. You don't need to comment again if you've already commented that you want a belt buckle.
Yeah, these belt buckles are.
Are the prices in there?
No, but I saw them online. These belt buckles range from $75 to $125. I think they're handcrafted. I mean, they're really nice. They're nice belt buckles.
So those are all the belt buckles and one tie. Is it called a bolo?
It's called a bolo.
A bolo. Yeah. That we're going to be giving away. We're going to give away one tonight if you were not here at the beginning of the live stream. And then we're going to give the other ones away in probably one of the Sunday videos.
Something.
More details to come in a future video. So make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss out on your chance to win another belt buckle.
Exactly.
You can't work the computer, can you?
I'm having trouble today.
Huh.
So
let's answer a few more questions because we're getting close to an hour. So
Yeah.
Let's do one more round of Q&A. So throw up your questions.
Oh, we're at 343. 343 people here hanging out with you
just,
tonight,
like,
Erin. That is
amazes
awesome.
me.
That just blows me away. Thank you, each and every one of you.
All belt buckle questions.
All belt buckle questions. See, this is we show the belt buckles and everybody's like, I want free stuff.
I saw one. Todd said something about it. I lost it. You might be able to like air up the tires and have enough time to chill before they go flat. Yeah, we've been doing that for like 2 years.
So. Actually, one of the valve stems from Erin from doing that, one of the valve stems broke completely off of the tube that's in. I don't even know if I think there's a tube in there now. It's just going to be a little bit of work. It's not horrible. Tubes aren't expensive. It's just the fact that prioritizing stuff that's going around.
Yeah,
Erin right now is a slave driver, by the way, because she wants to have her new high tunnel built by May 15th.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to be in Casper on May 15th. So you have until May 16th.
May 16th.
Hey, here's a question that I've seen come up a couple of times from Jaden. Mike, what was your favorite thing about the Air Force?
What was my favorite thing about the Air Force?
And how long were you in?
Well, I was in for 4 years. I can't say it's travel. I'm not a huge fan of travel. But I mean, it's the people that you meet. I mean, that's pretty much, it's kind of like any job. The people that you get to meet, the people that you get to hang out with. I grew up in Montana, very small town, very sheltered, no, ethnic diversification in that town, anything like that. So when I joined the Air Force and got to meet different types of people and learn, that people came from big cities where, people came from Chicago, people came from Nashville, they came from New York City, that kind of stuff just completely blew me away that these, because I would, as a kid, I remember watching, the town that I grew up in was less than 10,000 people. That I went to junior high. When I went to high school, I was actually in a town that was less than 300 people. But the town that was less than 10,000, we had a movie theater. But when movies came out, we didn't get those movies. So it blew me away when I would talk to people and they say, "Oh yeah, the new whatever movie's out," and we got it right away. And I was just like, "Holy, they do that?" Like we had to wait, 3 months to see whatever movie was big back then, the new Star Trek movie or Star Wars or whatever was coming out. So yeah, it's just one of those things. That's the thing about the Air Force that I really dug was meeting the different people, meeting people from all over the world, and also people from other military. Not only our military, but other militaries, and seeing, I worked quite a bit with the UN and that kind of thing. So getting to see that kind of stuff was really cool. So yeah.
All right, we got another super chat. Thank you, Jan. Can get the bolo as a buckle.
Oh yeah. I have no problem with that. Add jewelry. You want?
All right, the merchandise empire.
Yeah, we got a lot of merchandise stuff going on tonight.
Let's fast fire some questions here.
All right,
so
quick fire.
Bang,
bang, bang.
Do you have pigs? Not yet. Probably June or July we'll get more pigs. Are the tires filled with beet juice?
No.
No.
Not on the International.
The tractor, the John Deere ones are. Yeah. I just saw that you were live. Could you explain exactly what your channel is about?
Oh.
Go.
What are we about?
Exploring the ranch life and escaping the ordinary.
Basically, we came from a background of having nothing to do. You are just pressuring me. I need a script. We came from a background that had nothing to do with ranching or farming. We both worked in corporate radio. Erin's stepdad got sick. We came back, took over the ranch. Now we're here. And basically this channel is all about exploring the ranch life and escaping the ordinary and, getting people, bringing the producer, the consumer closer together.
That's it.
That's it.
All right. What brand is your cowboy hat?
Stetson.
Why don't you play with the Squirt Gator? The little gator?
Squirt Gator?
It doesn't run super great, and it has tire issues. I use it a lot when Mike has the big gator and is doing like more important productive things, but I need to haul garden seeds and my cedar and my hoe around. I use the little gator. It does not run good though.
It runs fine. The idle's turned way down on it. That's the only problem. But
start half the time.
The bad thing about that little gator, it has zero suspension. So you hit a pebble, and it's like, whoa!
And everything flies out of the back.
Yeah, it has no suspension.
I use it a lot, though.
Yeah. I have taken it out in the pasture, and it's not fun.
No. You should make a hat and shirts. We have mesh back hats. Yeah, we've looked into hats. We can't find any that are not super expensive. Christy, did you inventory the high tunnel? No.
Quit pointing out our flaws, people.
No, we have not. Obviously, dirt work needs to be finished. We got to shoot it in with the. Is it called a transit? What's that thing called?
Yeah, we're gonna
the
finish
fancy laser level beep 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 thing. That's what it does. I don't know how to work it.
I'll get you out. Maybe you could use it. This is your high tunnel. Why aren't you doing out more on this
We
thing?
got to do more leveling. I'll help pour lines in. And then we got to drill holes.
Right.
Lots of holes, lots of concrete, put some stuff on the ground, build some end walls, put some hoops up.
And we are planning on doing a video series on the high tunnel itself. When we started doing our original high tunnel, there was nothing out there to help us in doing it. So we figured maybe we should make a series.
We'll do a whole series
about how to do it, so that people in the future can watch that and pick up from our mistakes and do their own thing as well.
Okay. I think I was scrolled way far up. I know. What would you recommend for someone 18 trying to start in the hay business?
In the hay business?
Go somewhere with irrigation or where it rains more than 12 to 14 inches a year. Just saying. We're not been successful hayers because of weather. No irrigation and no rain.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody said they wanted autographed pictures.
Oh, yeah?
My
signature's not pretty.
I don't think people care about that. Maybe they do. I don't know. If you're autographing, does your signature have to be pretty when you autograph things?
I don't know.
I sign stuff that looks like crap. If you've ever gotten, if you support us on Patreon or anything like that, we send out personalized notes and stuff like that on Patreon for our Patreon supporters. You've seen my signature. You know it looks like a bird took a crap on a piece of paper and it just kind of ran down.
All right. What kind of crops do you guys grow? Hay.
Hay.
We grow
grass.
hay.
Pasture grass.
Mix with a little bit of alfalfa.
Right.
We get at least 25 inches per month. Country vlogs. Whoa.
What? Holy smoke. How do you even hay?
We get 14 inches a year.
Wow. 25 inches. That's like a month. That's like an inch per day.
How did the project list get started?
The project list started years and years ago.
We needed another video series.
Well, the project list has been
going on.
The project, the list itself has been on the board for years. It's just something that I started doing many, many years ago, is just writing down all this stuff on the wall. And then...
mostly for hired help, so they'd know what
to do. It did, yeah. That's what it came down to, was I would write stuff on the when we had Tyler, when we had Mitch, I would write stuff down, because if I wasn't right there to meet them and say, hey, you need to go do this, they could look at that board at any time and say, hey, I need to do this, which didn't work half the time, because I didn't see that, or I forgot how to read. Yeah, that's how it started. And then for a video series, it just became something that we just started doing. I mean, it's just something that needs done. I am bad, and I will admit this about, somebody said we need to do what is on the project list. One thing that I am bad about is I should show the project list. This is what is on the project list. This is what we're doing today, kind of thing. Maybe put those together. But
all right.
Yeah. Any hired help this year? Not yet.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it's tight. This year I've had a lot of people offer to help. I've had people offer to help for free. The problem with that is nothing is free. Even if you're offering to help for free, I still have to do workman's comp, that kind of thing. There's liabilities issues. So even if you say, hey, I want to come and help you work for free, and then you come and help me, and then you cut off your arm in the swather,
the ranch can't afford that.
I'm in trouble. So there's always liability. There's workman's comp. There's all that kind of stuff. So. Yeah, it's amazing how many people offer to come work for free.
It's awesome.
It's kind of it's one of those things that actually makes me feel bad, because there are people that seriously want to do it, and it's like I have to say no, because I can't lose the ranch. That would be horrible. That would turn out very badly. So,
hey, I'm in the super chat.
See somebody else asking a question, putting up a super chat, asking a question for somebody else. How often do you change bulls? The ideal time frame to change bulls, and I was just talking to somebody about this today, is every 3 to 4 years. We actually stretched a little bit farther than that, and that's just an economic deal.
Bulls are expensive.
Bulls are very expensive. We have new bulls on the ranch that we're going to be talking about here in the upcoming.
You have a lot of videos to make, man.
I do have a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff happened today. We had new bulls arrive at the ranch today. We've had a lot of people ask us about how we buy bulls. And it's actually quite simple.
My mom made a phone call.
We have a friend that raises bulls, and make a phone call, and boom, we get bulls.
We have a couple people that we buy bulls from. A ranch in Montana that raises registered Black Angus, and then a guy north of town that raises registered Red Angus.
Right.
So
and this year we got Red Angus bulls. So we're going to be talking about them coming up. So.
All right.
Anyway, let's hit a couple more questions, and then we got to get kids and get them to bed. So.
We haven't had dinner yet either.
We have not had. Anybody have any suggestions for dinner? And you can't say takeout because
my mom made spaghetti.
Nobody delivers.
My mom made us dinner, so thanks, Mom.
Can you give away like 50 autographs?
Someone wanted autograph pictures. Should we go get some glamour shots done?
What the heck was that?
One of the puzzles. Underneath this table that the computer is sitting on is a bunch of puzzles for the kids, like number puzzles and shape puzzles, and they all like when you they talk.
They talk.
So one of them just talked.
Wow.
So yeah, we should get some glamour shots done apparently and put them on our website. You can autograph them.
Yeah.
Didn't you have those when you worked in radio?
Mm-hmm.
We should find one from when you were much younger.
I think I do have some actually somewhere, and they're not great. I should actually break out a bunch of my stuff. I have boxes of autographed pictures, boxes of them, and you know Tim McGraw and Faith Hill and you know all. I mean, just.
I remember that when I met you and like we moved to Laramie and stuff, and we hadn't been dating very long, and we moved and. You know, we were obviously living together because we moved towns, and you were unpacking all this stuff, and I was just like, "This is amazing."
You thought it was cool?
Yeah, I don't have any celebrity autographs.
It's a piece of paper with their name on it.
Well, I know now they sit in our attic, but
yeah, I don't even know. They might be in the. I don't know where they're at. Actually, I've got boxes of this stuff, and
that's cool. They are cool.
And people would send me weird stuff. Like I would get record promoters that would send me autographed baseballs that are like. Babe Ruth autographed baseball, you know, that kind of stuff. And I've got boxes of this stuff, but yeah. So anyway, autographs, weird. But yeah, it could be something we could do. I mean, I don't see any problem with it. How heavy is the average bowl? About 2 tons. Well, no, not 2 tons.
No, not 2 tons.
About a ton. About a ton. Is what they,
2,500 pounds.
We got our new bowls today. We're going to be selling a couple of our older bowls. They'll be going away. And they usually, they weigh in right about a ton. About 2,200 pounds. Somewhere in there. So.
Someone asked, why don't you feed your cows grain? We grain finish our steers. There's a whole video about it called Grain Finishing Steers. So we grain finish 60 to 90 days before we butcher. But we don't butcher the whole herd. Most of our herd is breeding cows, and calves get sold in October.
Right. And we don't raise grain.
No.
And buying grain would be ridiculous. Ever heard of Chris Ledoux? Chris Ledoux was our neighbor. So yeah, we were really he's literally, as the crow flies, Chris's place is like 8 miles that way. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not 8 miles.
It's not far.
He's an exaggerator. You know, you met Chris Ledoux though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you talk to his son occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
All right, couple more super chats, and then let's wrap it up.
Timing to change the bowls. Okay.
I don't understand.
Year.
Another question. Timing to change bowls. Year.
You might have to clarify a little bit there.
Comment on more. Explain. All right.
But don't do another super chat. Don't do that.
Don't
do that. But I'll keep an eye for it, okay?
Okay. Yeehaw. How do you feel about the big box stores such as Tractor Supply Company for your ranch?
I don't shop at Tractor Supply. We have a local co-op that co-ops are basically owned by their members and kind of.
So we shop at...
And we have a local feed store.
We have a local feed store, locally owned by... I'd say she's our friend because we've been shopping there for a long time. And she just recently purchased it from a very long-time county ranch family. Mm-hmm. And we shop there, and then we shop... So we go to Thar's first, and then we go to Co-op. And there's some stuff you can get at Co-op that you can't get at Thar's. And then we go to Baumgar's is maybe like our next choice if like the local stores don't have it.
Right. And
never Tractor Supply.
We have a Tractor Supply, and I think I've been there like 3 times.
Yeah.
And it seems like every time I go there, they don't have what I'm looking for. This is a total. If Tractor Supply is thinking about sponsoring us, they threw that out the window. But how often do you change bowls? What we're trying to do is get into a rotation where we're changing out 1 bowl every year.
That's going to take some work.
It's going to take a little work to get into that. We're kind of mixed up right now. Like I said, we got 3 bowls this year. We're dumping 2. And
we got 1 last year.
We got 1 last year, so the trick is that
sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
But so when you keep back your own heifers, you need to buy a new bull because they need to be a smaller frame because you cannot put a 2,500-pound bull on a yearling.
An 800-pound yearling.
Yeah. So you have to buy a new bull. So if you go a couple of years and you don't keep back heifers and your bulls don't get hurt, then yeah. So we just kind
I
of.
told you not to super chat again.
Thank you.
Thank you, though.
What time of the year do you change bulls and why? So ideally,
Good question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so ideally, the way that we like to do it is we buy bulls about this time of year, and then normally they will hold our bulls until it's time to put in our bulls in July. That way, we're not feeding a bull. This year, it kind of worked out a little bit different. We ended up taking delivery of our bull, but yeah, we usually buy bulls in April or May. And then they'll go out in July.
And ideally, we would have sold the old bulls and not fed them all winter, but we were kind of, my mom was kind of undecided on what we were going to do and stuff.
Yeah, so it ended up being a weird, it worked out. So
yeah.
I'm trying to get into red baldies instead of black baldies. Where did you get your red Angus bulls? We buy them locally from a guy just north of town in Weston.
Shoot us an email if you want contact. If you're in the Northeast Wyoming area and you want contact info, shoot us an email.
He has 2 more bulls to go. I know that. He told me that today.
They're nice bulls, too.
They are. I actually like the temperament of red bulls as opposed to black bulls. The red bulls seem to be just a little bit more chill till they get to a certain age, and then they kind of turn into not so nice people. So,
all right.
Christy Dunham, who was actually our big winner in our trivia thing.
Yeah.
I hope Christy got her package. Ever consider a cookbook, Erin? I'm guessing you're talking to Erin because my cookbook, it would be like open package, directions are on side of TV dinner.
Stab the potatoes.
Yeah. Cut film over. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do a cookbook. I don't know when I have time to do a cookbook. It needs to be a winter project.
Yeah. It would be.
If somebody wants to publish that, that would also be helpful.
That's the other thing. Like a lot of this stuff, like we kind of just fell into this, so we're learning this as we go, and we do get help occasionally. We've been contacted by like a marketing person who's in New York City and said, hey, if you need help, we can help you with what you're trying to do and that kind of stuff. But a lot of this we're just kind of figuring out as we go, and a lot.
We're also trying to do YouTube, which is super time consuming. Run a ranch, take care of cows, plant gardens,
raise a family,
raise 3 little tiny people, have a marriage. We go to Walmart for date night.
Yeah. We do. It's very sad. We had last date night. We went out. We had dinner. We went to that. We have a weird Mexican fusion place. It's a Mexican Italian fusion.
It was really good.
It was good.
You had spaghetti and meatballs. I had tacos.
Yeah, and then we went to Walmart. It was so romantic.
So things like cookbooks and merchandising and all this stuff, like we want to do it. We don't want to invest. I don't want to invest $50,000 into merchandise or a cookbook. But
we need somebody to like get behind us and be like, Erin, I'm going to help you do this.
So probably an e-cookbook, maybe next winter.
Yeah.
A small like micro ebook, 10 to 15 recipes.
Mm-hmm.
That I can hammer out.
That we can do.
The other hard thing is not to sidetrack, but I don't measure stuff. I don't write stuff down. I just make it up. So it's really hard for me to write you guys recipes.
It is. Erin did a video, a cooking video not too long ago. Well, it was a while ago. And somebody said, can you put the recipe in the description? And Erin went,
it's really hard.
I don't know if I can. Like, you did it. You figured it out. But
and before I cook and stuff, like I go through and figure out, so I can give you guys measurements and stuff like as I'm talking, but I don't. From now on, my
she had to go back and watch the video to figure out how she made it. It was kind of funny.
From now on, my recipes will be in the description. But it is really hard before I make the video to figure out how much of stuff I use. So.
Right. All right. So, any other burning questions? Throw them up there in Super Chat because we're going to be wrapping things up. We're coming up on an hour and 15 minutes, and these things keep getting longer. And if Matt okay, here's another thing, really quick. If you notice, we put out we now have the community tab on YouTube, and we asked the question about our live streams, and we said, should we do live streams once every 2 weeks? Should we do live streams once a week? Should we do live streams never?
Never.
Or something like that.
Once a month.
Or once a month, or should we do them never? And we seem to be on the right track with doing them every other week, but they do get longer. It seems as we go. So
Humphrey Family Holsteins is here. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
We didn't answer any of your questions. I'm sorry. But
well, he can ask me questions if he needs to. He knows how to get a hold of me.
All right. Yes, there are Wyoming Life t-shirts on Amazon.
Amazon.com. Search our Wyoming Life, and they're on Prime, free shipping. And you can also go to our website, rwyomlinglife.com, and there's some shopping. There's a company called Teespring that we work through that they can do T-shirts and coffee mugs and hoodies, tote bags. Stickers. They do some other stuff. And we are actually in the process of doing a new website as well, and we will have beef jerky available and hopefully our new belt buckle before too long. And you know what? Feel free to email me. You know, you can always shoot me an email. This is one of the great things. I'm horribly behind on emails. This is my problem. I tell people to email me, and then I say I'm behind on emails. But you can email me anytime you want. rwyomlinglife@gmail.com. You can email me.
Wyoming Life not available?
It was not. Somebody had that.
Somebody has it.
But you can always email me with your ideas. Like I said, we're going to have beef jerky. We're going to do some other stuff like that. If you have ideas, I'll even throw it out there. If you make a product that you think would fit in with what we're doing, let's talk about it. I mean, it's awesome. We're a community. We can get together. We can help each other out. Why not?
One more super chat, and then we're out.
The Ranch Life asks, you got to stop asking other people's questions, man. This is awesome. How is Bubbles? Bubbles is actually really good. Unfortunately, Bubbles is going to be going away. Bubbles is 9 years old.
He's the red big bull from the Moving Bulls video.
Yeah, Bubbles is 9 years old, if you can believe that. He is our alpha bull at this time. He gave
me the stink eye.
He kind of gave me the stink eye, too. I was out in the crowd with him, and he was standing there watching me. Yeah, unfortunately, he's probably going to be, well, I can tell you, he's going to be going away.
Like next week.
Like next week. So.
Okay. So if you have not commented that you want a belt buckle, throw that up there. We will pick a comment and we will post it in the description later.
Yeah,
it might be a half hour or so.
It takes about a half an hour for these things to upload.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if you want a belt buckle,
throw it up there. I really do. I sprung this on our moderators and I said, you guys give me a hand. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I probably should have got a hold of you guys ahead of time and said, is this cool with you? And I totally just threw it out at you. But
one more super chat.
Oh, Jan, favorite car and truck. Does it have to be something I own or something my favorite car? Do you have a favorite? You don't have.
I just really want a new Yukon.
Erin wants a new car. Really
I want an extended Yukon so I can actually put all the kids and the groceries and all the cat food and all the other crap in the car.
Yeah. If I could have a dream car, and Erin hates this idea, but I would totally get a DeLorean. I would get a DeLorean. That's it. I don't know why. Because I'm a child of the 80s, or early 90s.
If I get a brand new Yukon, then you can have, and we have money.
Yeah,
so no, you can't ever have DeLorean.
All right, guys. She wanted a Yukon XL. That's what she wants.
Yeah,
that's right.
What I need.
That's what she wants. That's what she needs.
It's hard when we go on vacation. We have the smaller Yukon. It's been a great vehicle. It has like 111,000 miles on it. It's all stained because we let the kids eat snacks. They've ruined that car. Hopefully we can make it another couple years so they won't ruin a new one.
Yeah. Exactly. So anyway, thanks to everybody that got us the super chats tonight. That is so awesome. We do love that. Not just because we make 50% or 45% of those super chats, but also because it actually shows that you guys care. And the fact that people were super chatting to ask other people's questions, that is something I have never seen.
I've never seen
on YouTube before. I've watched Casey Neistat do live streams. I've seen super chats flow through. I have never seen that before, and that is something that just blows me away. That you guys are just so awesome, and that's just I'm speechless. It's crazy. It's crazy. So. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good
why
night.
don't you wrap it up?
All right. So make sure you like and subscribe, of course. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. Turn on the bell notification because YouTube has changed their notification system. So unless you have the bell on, you will not get notified every time. And people are still not getting notified. We're sorry if you're not getting notified. That is not us. That is YouTube. We don't pick who those notifications go to. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. We have new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Right. And you can head to our website, sign up for our newsletter. If you haven't heard about that, that's called the Herd Report. Comes out every Monday. That's like totally like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
It's, there's usually something written by me. There's something written by Erin in it. We have videos throughout. We have pictures. We have stuff that we're doing that you don't even see it on Facebook. Stuff that we're doing. And that's all in our newsletter. And I want to thank everybody that subscribed to that. And the other cool thing about the newsletter is it's back and forth. So you can, usually you get newsletters there's, do not reply. Reply. I don't
Yeah.
care. I mean, it's awesome because it's another way that we can talk to it. What's the email? Country Vlogs asked, what's the email? Our email would be OURWY life@gmail.com.
And you can find that on our website, ourwyominglife.com.
Right. And you can contact us from the website as well. So there's a contact form on there.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. We'll be back for another live stream in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And next Thursday, we're going to do something in the garden. And what's your video about on Sunday?
Sunday, we are doing a huge calving update. We're going to go through, I'm going to take you through a day in calving, which I hope I have a good day in calving. We're gonna talk about, what all, basically it's just a calving update. What's going on, how many calves there are. We're going to talk about some of the bottle calves. And you're going to just hang out with me for a day while we do some calving.
Yeah.
And then Erin will be back next week with another
video.
Another
But
video.
we're going to be outside. We're going to do something outside.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Monday, of course, we have another project list coming up, which I have Tuesday project list. Man, I'm having a rough day.
All right.
Anyway, that's
Thank
it. We're
you,
going to
guys.
hang up for the night. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. You guys are so awesome. Feel free to get a hold of us anytime you'd like. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Good night.
Thanks
Kids have school tomorrow.
Yeah,
We're
kids
going.
have school. So thanks for joining us in our Wyoming life.